That is what you would hear if you lived back in the days of crucifixion.
I'll do that.
Today I'm going to inform you about the process of crucifixion, made most popular by Jesus Christ, who was crucified. Now, I've been studying crucifixion for some time. A long time, actually. I've studied the myths, the truths, the ins, the outs, the medical facts, all kinds of things. And today, I put together, hopefully, a good presentation for you. Thank you. Excellent. So today I'm going to inform you about the origins, preparation, and the procedures of crucifixion. Arguably the most cruelest form of capital punishment ever. Next slide, please. Let's go ahead and begin with the origins. Now, even though the origins are kind of obscure, it is known that according to the Encyclopedia Britannica in 1993, that the origins date back to as far as 550 BC, and they've lasted for about 900 years. Now the purpose of the crucifixion was to provide a gruesome and public execution of criminals, and also to send a message to the citizens around, because normally the Roman citizens, which transferred from Persia to Rome, the Roman citizens weren't normally crucified, but if you were found of treason and treachery, you would have to suffer crucifixion as well. It was also to send a message to those who were nearby, those countries looking to invade Rome. Rome wanted to display its power, so what it would do is the crucifixion sites would line all the borders of Rome, so that anybody thinking about invading Rome would think twice. And that's according to the New World Encyclopedia in the 09 edition. Next slide, please. Now, according to the Living Bible, the American Bible Society published in 2000, the beams, and this is just the cross beam, the beam would weigh about 125 to 150 pounds, and that's just the cross beam. Now, if you were the fortunate one, if you were the lucky one to have to carry the full cross, you'd be carrying 200 to 250 pounds. Now, the crucifixion was a form of killing, yes, but it was also a form of recycled killing. Recycled, you ask? Good question. Well, look, recycled killing was this. That cross beam would be reused over and over. So after that person would be thrown down, the next person would have the next, and it'd be a recycled form of killing. Now, those who would suffer crucifixion were not meant a glorious death. What would happen on the bodies would either be A, left on the cross to die, and then the animals would pick it off, or they'd cut you down, throw you in the ditch, and then the animals would go and pick you off. Next slide, please. Now, we talked about the origins. Let's go ahead and talk about the preparations before the actual crucifixion. Now, according to Dr. Robert J. Stein in The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel, published in 1998, Roman floggings were infamous for being terribly brutal. It consisted of a minimum of 39 lashes. Now, depending on the executioner that you would have at that time, you would either get more or less. So if you had one who had a bad day, guaranteed you would get more than 39 lashes. Now, the whip, it would strike the flesh, causing contusions and ripping of the skin. You would see the spine being exposed. You would see organs and tissues and muscles and blood be dripping all over your body. The whipping was not just on the back, however, it was all over. It was anywhere from top to bottom. Nothing was off limits to the Roman soldiers. Next slide, please. Now, killing to Roman soldiers is like garbage men taking out garbage. It is their profession. They are good at it. They do it every day. It is not a problem to them. All right, next slide, please. According to the American Medical Association Journal, 1986, volume 256, it says, severe scourging, intense pain, blood loss, leaving a person in a pre-shock state. There was a physical and mental abuse, lack of food, water, and sleep that contributed to the weakened state. The physical condition was serious and or possibly critical. And that's just the scourging. Now finally, the condemned would have to carry that cross, and all the while to their place of crucifixion would still endure scourging. Okay, so we talked about preparation. Let's actually go ahead and talk about the actual procedure that we see right here. Now, the condemned would be forced to lie on the beam as their hands are outstretched. 5 to 7 inch metal spikes would go through the wrist and would go through the foot. Most people think about, oh, what about the hands? Yes, although that was used too. Typically it would be placed in the palm, because then the weight of the man is supported and you can't slide right off. Now spikes, when they're entering into the flesh, they crush nerves. They crush nerves in the hands and the wrists and the feet, leaving the hands paralyzed and they can't move. This would be extreme pain. The best way I can explain it to you is if you've ever hit your funny bone, it's 1,000,000 times harder than that. It hurts. It's a crushed nerve. Okay? Now, on top of all that, you'd be hoisted into the air for everybody to see because Rome wanted to make sure you had a shameful death. For you to be embarrassed on the cross is what their goal was, and they were good at it. So what would happen is as a man is up on the cross, the gravity would pull them down, and most of the times their shoulders would dislocate from their joints, and they would hang down. And from the previous beating, they would feel as their back is exposed with all the cuts and contusions, their back would feel that pole sliding up and down and hurting them. So, it was very uncomfortable. Next slide, please. Due to the stress of the diaphragm, it would be called asphyxiation. Bleeding and suffocation would be your cause of death. For you to get breath, you would sink down due to gravity. You pour yourself up to breathe. Then have to sink back down due to gravity. You pour yourself up to breathe. Pour yourself down for gravity. You have to pour yourself up to breathe. This would cause asphyxiation. Your lungs are collapsing. You have to pick yourself up to breathe. And see, now if you didn't die fast enough, the Romans had a way to help you out. They would take them out, they would break your legs, causing you to fall. And now you can't pick yourself up, and eventually your lungs, you can't breathe, and all of a sudden, you collapse. This was arguably the most cruelest way of capital punishment. Okay. So today we review the origins, the preparation, and the procedure of crucifixion, made famous by Jesus Christ, one of the most popular religious figures out there. Now, the significance, forgive me, but the significance of this crucifixion purpose, because you see it everywhere. You see it on diamond chains, you see it on the church steeples, you see it on pictures, you see it on tattoos, you see it on clothing. But now you know exactly what a crucifixion is and what they had to endure. I hope this has been informative. My name is Edgar Gracie. Thank you.